Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lyranwitch. Today I'm back with another collective message. Just so that you guys know, you can always book a personal reading with me for an animal communication reading with your pets, or for an energy healing using my website, lyranwitch.com. I'm also giving away 2 free readings once I hit 1,000 subscribers. To be in the running, all you have to do is make sure that you're subscribed and leave me a comment. Alright, let's hop in here. So I actually recorded a message yesterday, and when I reviewed it, I felt like it shouldn't be posted. So I did not post it. And what I got from the whole experience of recording something and then finding like there was distortion in it is that there's a lot of readers right now that are posting the same kind of message. I realized afterwards, because they were all getting the same message I did, which is about like an ex-soulmate or like an ex-twin flame or whatever you want to call them, like coming back, okay? And the thing is, whenever I was going through and like looking at some of the other readers' comments, because I listen to a lot of different people, a lot of the comments are like, I haven't even been thinking of this person and I don't want to pick up on their energy anymore, so why do I keep only seeing this here? And what I wanted to say about that is I think there's a lot of distortions coming in about people returning. And some people are returning, but you're going to know without a reading if that's the case. Like this person would be coming into literally your visions, into your dream space. You would already be picking up on their energy, and these readings would be like a confirmation for you. But what I am getting from these messages is that there's a lot of entities that are kind of going in and out through even really aligned readers and like showing up to bring up trauma for people who feel like they are already in this like Empress mode, whatever your gender, okay? If you've already leveled out of a situation where there were too many options and this person you do not want back, like if there's somebody from the past that's like been haunting you for a long time and you finally got free of them within the last 3 months and now you're seeing all these messages about it, that's a distortion, okay? If this has continued the whole time and you never had a break from this person's energy, then that message will be for you. So I just wanted to open with that because this is something I've been seeing, and Spirit was saying that it's causing a lot of people to be in this like 10 of Swords energy. You know, the 10 of Swords is feeling really burdened, and really like stabbed through the heart, and it just taking a really long time to kind of move through these emotions that have come up from these different situations of being put in a position of being stuck in your own mind and like having to wait and figure out if you should be waiting, being completely like drained of your passion and just your curiosity and zeal for life. And if that's the way you're feeling about it, that message is going to be a distorted one, okay? So please don't pay attention to that. And that is not the message that I'm going to be getting into for the collective today. But I did want to open with that because if you have a divine partner, of however you think of them, coming to you, you already will know. You don't necessarily like need a reader to validate that for you. You're going to know because you'll have a dream about it, or you'll have like all these signs and synchronicities in your life before it happens, because Spirit will prepare you individually. Okay? And I do just want to preface and say I don't really buy into the idea of like twin flames, because nobody's incomplete without somebody else. Like everybody is a complete soul here. But we do have many, many soulmates. And if somebody is not showing up and has completely abused you and treated you horribly, and you know that there was no reason to continue and pick that back up because you're just a different person now, then you shouldn't think of them as like a divine partner. Like that was a lesson for you. And I see that a lot of like people who get really into the twin flame journey are highly traumatized, and for good reason. There's a lot of distortions around romantic love that have come up, and it's meant to keep people in lack mindset, okay? And I just want to say there's an abundant universe. We have infinite number of divine partners and soulmates, because everything is based on free will. And if you are learning your lessons, you're not going to be stopped on your like ascension path because somebody else is choosing to be an idiot. Okay, I just want to like preface with that. And you know, I just want to say, like, I don't want to make this channel into one that's always derailed by these kind of messages about divine partners. There's a time and a place to get into this like lover's energy, and this channel does not like get into that only. It'll come up occasionally, but for the most part, I just want to say that if you're in this window now where you have already been getting signs they're coming back, you can trust it. But if you're just getting those signs through readers externally, that's not going to be a message for you. So, moving on. Spirit, what would you like to tell the collective today, please? There's actually some really big ascension energies that are coming up right now around releasing grief that has to do with old relationships. With the World card coming up here right after the Lovers and the Four of Cups, there's a lot of healing coming up around independence and energetic sovereignty. And the idea that you can have partnerships that are really meant for you and don't put you in this burdened Ten of Wands phase. But it requires you to be independent first and foremost. That's not to say that you have to be like fully healed or whatever. Like, I'm not a believer in that. I think everybody's consistently healing, and healing with the correct people doesn't feel like a burden. That's it. But it is important to not be afraid of being alone, because that turns into like signs of codependency, basically. And that's all stuff that can be healed. I am living proof of that. Like, I was probably the most codependent person in the world at one point. And coming out of that takes a lot of dedication and effort. But Spirit is saying that there's a huge group of people right now that are coming out of that and moving into the World card. Now, if you are somebody that reads your own cards at home, Spirit is bringing this through today. If you get the Lovers card consistently, and you're maybe newer to readings, the Lovers card is not always about romance. The Lovers card is about bringing together the multiplicity that is within you as well. And that's how I typically am guided to read it, actually. The Lovers is about, the inner child and the inner adult coming together, or two different aspects coming together. It's not necessarily about twin flames only. And I think that's a lot of how these distortions get started in some other situations, and it can crop up for anybody to misread a situation, and that comes from needing to heal. That comes from needing to process your own grief around romantic relationships sometimes. It can be something that you hyper focus on because there's this part of your brain that's like, I need to go back and fix this, so I need to recreate it so I can fix it. And that's stuff that I feel like a lot of you are already moving out of, or well within the process of alchemizing for yourself. With the Four of Wands here, there are going to be a lot of new commitments that come into your life, but not all of them are reliant on other people. Some of the things I'm being told that you felt like were going to require a soulmate to do in your life. Like if you have some divine mission and you always had it in your head, I have to do this with my soulmate, so I'm looking for my soulmate first, or whatever. That's not necessarily the case. A lot of you are going to be kind of like, they're showing me somebody like pulling up their britches and just doing it anyway. And then the door opening for a partner or partners to come in. Or even like friendships, aligned friendships and aligned soul family coming forward. But that honestly requires the door to be opened by you already being sovereign. By you already overcoming, with the Devil card in reverse here, these addictions. And a lot of the addiction that can come up around romance is the addiction to feeling like you need an external support to do something. Spirit will give you the internal support you need to accomplish most anything, or at least get started on accomplishing most anything that you're out to do. If you're really dedicated to something and you just start doing it, doors will open once you start. Even if you're doing it in a really like not great way for what you had in mind. Like, for example, whenever I started doing these readings, I was literally living in a hotel with 2 other people, and I was just, like, flipping cards on a bed. And like, Or I would walk around a parking lot and do videos of walking around the parking lot because I didn't have anywhere nice to walk. And people really resonated with it because they could see that that was something I was passionate about. And that's exactly how this stuff works. Like, you're just going to start and it's going to come together. And of course, this isn't just about readings. This is about anything you're looking to do. So for example, if you're really wanting to go back to school for something and you can't afford it, take free classes at this time. You know, you can always go and audit a class and sit in, or talk to the professor and ask if you can sit in. And that will allow you to talk to the people. You'll be introduced to the people who will give you what you need, or guide you to places that you need to get financial aid, or whatever it is for you, or find a correct program, whatever. But right now, I feel like a lot of you are still overcoming the mental aspects of this. With the King of Swords in reverse here, there's this idea of like being the step before the king, like the step before you cut off all those kind of intense, I'm hearing delusional, but that's not the word I would necessarily choose. Like these thoughts that are arguing for your limitations. And I think that Spirit called me to use the word delusional because you're limitless. And that's just how they want you to think of it. But the King of Swords in reverse is the step right before you're tired of your own shit and you just do the thing. And for the Sun to come up in reverse here is telling me that you're very, very close to something that you're really passionate about. This does have to do as well. You know, the Six of Wands has to come out in every single one of my readings. This is like the card of the channel, I swear. You know, that victory and that celebration of your win in battle is going to be coming in now. I feel like so many of you are getting so close to this, and this is something I've been alluding to for the past couple weeks here. But basically what's going on is Spirit is opening this door for you by, as I was saying in other readings, like these new guides are coming in and they're giving you these intuitive nudges of how exactly to do the thing that you want to do, how to get started, right? And once you actually take the decisive action, just a little physical action to step forward and put yourself out there, this Emperor card is going to come into play. Like that, that feeling of being really passionate about that thing and really in your power is going to start because you can be proud of yourself that you're taking the action. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is something that you're going to be moving forward through, maybe at a slow pace at the beginning, but you're going to continuously move. This is not a place where you'll stop anymore. Take the action and just start setting the habit. That's going to put you in this Emperor mode, okay? And it's also going to be getting rid of a lot of the naysayers. I feel like are going to literally flee your life. Yeah, with the Knight of Swords here, I see a lot of people that are very hasty and they stop around you. And that might be a part of why you have this kind of voice within you that's like, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like this Ten of Swords that's always kind of chopping your own head off before you get started. A lot of times, if you're very intuitive and you're around people who have very intense personalities, you will pick up their internal voice, especially if you're very clairaudient. And whenever you go to do a thing, you may actually hear their opinions about it or feel their opinions about it in some way. And that's why it's really important to energetically clear yourself every day. It doesn't have to be a big thing. You can literally just set the intention every day when you get up that you're energetically sovereign and clear. And that's, again, where that independence kind of comes in. Again, that Empress mode, that Hierophant mode. Let's see. A lot of you are going to be... I feel like a lot of people here are a little bit spooked about potentially opening up to others again, especially opening up about things that you're passionate about that you're just starting. And that's for good reason, because it's really good to not necessarily tell people your business or your plans before something is in motion or at the beginning stages of it. You always want to let something germinate so that nobody comes into the garden and kind of messes things up or tries to replant it in a different way and potentially slows your progress, right? But Spirit is cautioning those of you feeling that way against completely going back into hermit mode, because they're promising. They're not saying this, they're saying we promise that this will put you back into the Ten of Swords. It's so important that you don't flee back into hermit mode again. That was part of the cycle that they're trying to end for you, that they're really assisting with. this Ten of Pentacles that you're destined for is dependent on you staying passionate about the things you care about and connecting with others who are going to like drive this chariot forward for you. And, you know, almost like a feedback loop of excitement about the thing. But in taking this decisive physical action and starting to set this new habit or starting this new thing that you're doing, not only is it going to open up these doors, but you're also going to get the intuitive downloads of, if you are feeling called to move, where to move to. This is also going to be downloads to help you offset this Ten of Wands and put the wands down, put down the burdens that you've had. For a lot of you, this is going to look like physically decluttering. Releasing items, taking them to, you know, Goodwill or whatever it is for you. Selling things, gifting things. Just letting more things go. And not getting stuck in your head about it with the Hanged Man in reverse here. They really don't want you to like keep lingering in your mind, because this group who's resonating with this is very cerebral and very stuck in your own mind a lot of times. You know, as you know, the swords are related to the air signs, but they're also related to communication and to thinking. And this, yeah, with this Nine of Swords here, there can be a lot of grief whenever you're over talking about things, but not taking enough action towards it, because then you start to psychoanalyze and be like, well, I talked about it all this time, but I haven't actually done anything. What's that mean about me? Etc. And really that just means that you're speaking all the all the juice of the battery out, kind of. Like, you have so much energy to put towards this new thing, and whenever you talk about it, you're releasing that energy and it's not really going anywhere. That's why it's important to not maybe tell people your business at the beginning, because that just like releases all the wind out of your sails, basically. And then it puts you in this Knight of Swords that you're really avoiding right now. That start-stop energy. Whereas Spirit is putting you in the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, they're saying that's all for the tarot, so let's collect this. Okay, I'm seeing an Owl Spirit. This might be a time of study. The Owl Spirit's been coming up in personal sessions recently as well, a lot more so. Here, I'll bring the Owl Spirit forward. It's so cute. But the Owl Spirit, you know, is coming up here about study. Look, the only card in the deck with a bird came out. I don't know if you guys can see this. See the bird? This is the Queen of Wands energy coming out with the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man in this deck is actually a very fiery energy. Owl is saying that they're helping to see through any BS that could have come up. Any potential betrayals or people who have an interest in keeping you in start-stop energy or paused or from pursuing this new direction in your life are going to be revealed. And they're also going to be removed by your guides. So do prepare for that. You're going to be seeing people's true colors, especially in the next week from when you see this, because this is a timeless message. People are going to be accidentally saying what they mean. And what I mean by that is that I think that it's important to set intentions, like wave your magic wand with the Ace of Wands here, to get the truth from people. Because there's been a lot of people in illusion that are around my collective right now. And you've been fighting them off, Seven of Wands. Really trying to keep these people at bay, because even though you want the best for them, these people are all about just not being defeated. They're very conflict-driven right now. And a lot of them with the Eight of Swords here have already harmed you in some way, and you've given them a lot of allowances. Now it's the time to let Spirit handle these people. Let them reveal themselves and, you know, move accordingly. Spirit can't 100% protect you from people that you continuously let into your life. I'm actually going to say that again. Spirit can't protect you from people that you continuously allow into your life. So if you know that somebody is dangerous, and they have all these opportunities to do you wrong, and they take that opportunity as much as possible, you need to allow karmic justice to step in. And stop, like, allowing these people to do their worst to you. That's the only way that you're going to end this cycle. And, you know, I know how hard this is. This can be family, this can be lovers, this can be anybody. And it's very difficult to see that from people that you really care about. And it's important to love at a distance. It's important to get more comfortable with loving at a distance for some of you. Wow. Because some of these people are literally working on you behind your back. Not all of them, obviously. Follow your intuition. If that message is for you, you will have already known this. And I'm just validating. There are certain people, I'm being told, if this part of the message is for you, that are trying to keep you in your own head. These are the naysayers, okay? If you have consistent naysayers in your life, you really need to distance from them. Because they're going to do everything in their power to keep your 3 wands in reverse, to keep your ships from coming in. And they're going to be met with a tower if you leave them alone. And I know that that's really hard for light workers to hear, oh, this person's going to get a tower, because you want to, like, step in and help them. Nobody wants to see that, right? But your job was to reveal them. You have revealed them by being yourself, by coming out of the cage they put you in, and by doing your light work here. By being in the position that you're in, and by virtue of being the person that you are, you have caused these negative magicians to reveal themselves. If somebody is driven by ego, they're going to be driven like batty by just watching you be yourself. And that's not your fault. That's literally part of your soul mission, is to reveal some of these people just by existing, just by doing you. Let the towers happen so these people can learn. That's the only way some of these people are going to learn, is like if spirit comes in and spanks them, basically. Okay, they want me to switch decks. They want me to get some animals for you. The cat at the bottom of the deck, some Lyran energy showing up. What messages do the animals and angels have for us today, please? Okay, this is very random, but I'm hearing Medusa. Medusa's energy has been coming up in the collective kind of frequently. And I don't typically interact with Medusa, but this may have a special meaning for some of you. She may be protecting some of you, especially if some of these people have assaulted you, essayed you. Because she went through that too, and she's a spirit that helps with that. She's a very dark, divine, feminine energy in a good way. Like, she's an empowering energy. What I say about the owl? Okay, here's the owl spirit. Listen to the messages of the angels. This is Archangel Bokpi. For those of you who are interested. There's also a vortex in the back of the card here. I'm so sorry for the lighting, guys. You see this vortex here? Owl spirit is working in your energy for a lot of you here. You may already be very connected to them, but their galactic aspect, because all animals have a galactic aspect. The galactic aspects of the owls are coming through a lot more. If you've ever connected to a galactic aspect of an animal, they're like the collective, how do I put this? They're like the collective wisdom of that whole species from the beginning of time. They're really awesome. And some of them actually have some of these counterparts literally in other parts of the universe, or other dimensions, whatever you want to call it. And connecting with that aspect of the owls will be very beneficial for you guys. They're very no nonsense. That's an energy I connect with frequently. I've even made paintings of them, actually. I'll have to share that in a later video. I painted the galactic owls. But yeah, the owls and the eagles. This is so funny because this came up in a personal reading for somebody recently. So the owls are helping you to listen to your guides and listen to your inner voice because they want you to trust yourself and stop leaning on others as much. The eagles are connected to the gold light, like the gold flame, which is the divine teacher. Seize opportunities courageously. This is also Archangel Bokpi. So that's an archangel that has special meaning for everybody in this group. You might want to check them out. I'm not going to lie, I haven't actually interacted with that angel, so I don't know what they do, but we'll have to look into that. I'll Google them. We will look. I don't know all of them. Let's see. Okay. Bokpi is a seraphim. I love this. The mighty seraphim Bokpi has stepped into the universe to oversee the bird kingdom. When you attune to him, he places his transparent orb of light over you so that you can connect more easily with the birds and receive their messages. That's amazing. Okay, so the birds are guiding everybody here. I love that. We also have the bees letting you know to dance more for some of you and to spend less time thinking about work. Burp confirmation, I guess. There's also something here about Archangel Metatron. This doesn't say it on the card, but Archangel Metatron's very connected to the bees. I've always been told that. And I'm being told that he's like upgrading your DNA with light codes. Okay, there's like an activation here because these bees on the card are hanging out in this spiral. And something about this double helix came up for me just before doing this reading. So there's a lot of activations coming in. Definitely be easier on yourself during this time and drink a lot more water than you normally would because anytime you have an activation, it's moving energy. And water has a crystalline quality to it. It allows the energy to settle in where it needs to. I was just talking about water and we have the elephants spraying water in the next card. Elephant, open yourself to true abundance. Archangels Mary and Raphael. So they're connected with the green flame and the blue flame and pink as well. And open yourself to true abundance right after talking about not working so hard is telling me that some of you have been really distracted by thinking about material abundance a whole lot, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad thing. Like, material abundance is just a tool. It's another energy to work with in this universe, so we're here to enjoy it. But they just want to remind you that sometimes if you get too focused on money and on maybe the lack of it or something, it'll actually cause you to overthink to the point and worry yourself to where you're not getting all of the downloads from spirit that would actually inspire you to do things that would bring you more of that. So take a step back, focus on the other abundant aspects of your life right now. You know, even if that just means taking an hour and doing something else and making sure that you're distracted from thinking about money, because sometimes distraction is a useful tool too. It's just something that you can't do always and ignore your emotions. But there's a time and place. And if you're having intrusive thoughts to the point where you can't focus on anything else and you're just stressed all the time about money, try to do something to distract yourself, like watching your favorite show or something, just for a little bit, and it'll help like train your mind and body out of just holding on to that, you know? Okay, and then we have the tiger. Accept your magnificence, Archangel Raphael. So I never noticed this about this card, but the tiger on this card has a really big crystal behind it. I don't know if you can see it with the lighting, how bad it is right now. But it looks like a big crystal behind it, and this is bringing up Atlantis and Lemuria for me. So there may be past lives about Atlantis or Lemuria coming up at this time, especially for those of you who really work a lot with crystals or activating water, especially in wild places. Yeah, any water witches or any sea witches, whatever, any crystal witches, like, y'all have connections to these two energies, Atlantis and Lemuria. In my understanding, and, you know, everybody has a different understanding of this. I don't claim to be correct. You know, if this doesn't resonate for you, don't take it. But if it does, take it. I was always told that Atlantis is something that did physically happen in this world, but Lemuria did not happen in this world. And that's like a past life thing in that way, I guess. Like a past life in another place. But, you know, everybody has a different opinion. You're entitled to yours. I do think that if you're already connecting with those energies, don't focus too much on the past with them, but focus on the parts of those energies that you want to carry forward. You know, if you know that your connection from Lemuria makes you feel really connected to the crystals, keep connecting with the crystals, or really explore that in a new way. There's something here about, like, making the old new and making it work for this time period. Okay, that's what I have for you guys. I hope that what you needed in this message got to you. I hope that you can take what resonates and leave the rest. And thank you so much for watching. Definitely let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure to comment and subscribe if you want to be in the running for those 2 free readings coming up when I hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you as well to all of my patrons. I'm going to have a new video coming for you in the next day or 2 here. And thank you to everybody who books personal readings and takes the time to send me emails and confirmations, and just letting me know what you think of this channel really means so much to me. I'm very grateful that you guys are here. So I'll see you in the next one. Sending lots of love and peace. Bye.